Buddy Keith here again. Yesterday, which is Monday the 17th of February, at the East Midlands Orchid Society meeting, I won a nobile-type Dendrobium, quite a tall one. This is labelled Akazukin, which I found as a partial match as a registered hybrid. It's obviously a nobile-type. It hasn't flowered this year. It's a fairly young plant, but we have got some little raised spots. I won't say any more than that. There certainly aren't nubbins. And I won that in the raffle. I also bought a Vanda, which I'm going to put into a glass jar. Now this Vanda was from a member who's moved and downsized and doesn't have the room to so it was this one, Brighton's Gold, or Patcher of Delight, and I had a quick look online at the two, and this looks a beautiful coloured plant. Now it's flowered this year, she told me. It flowers apparently very regularly around January, but it was in this large plastic pot with wires through it, and it was in moss, which surprised me no end. I could imagine it being just in there with a bit of loose bark or something, but not moss, and the moss was wringing wet. So when I've had a look at it this morning, the roots don't look brilliant at all. They're not quite as bad as they look. A lot of them are the very thin roots, which I'm told that you get with Vandas when they're young. They produce some quite stringy roots, and these great big thick ones they produce later on when they're growing up. But although the top part of this Vanda, down to about here, is okay, I'm not altogether thrilled with what's below it. We have got a branch there with a growing tip, but really I'm not very happy with this. I've sterilised my scissors, so I'm going to go through it, and I want to trim all the non-firm roots off, and there's going to be quite a bit, and then I'm going to put it into this jar and rest it in the top of that jar. Now that little jar is interesting. I got that this morning from a local Wilko's store, only £10, and it came with 3 little tillandsias in, and they're not very big. I'm not sure what they are. That one I think is Tillandsia caput medusae. I'm not sure what those two are. But they're nice little plants in reasonable nicks. I've given them a watering, and we'll see where we get on. But with this, I think it really needs the roots to dry out. It's not happy bunny, and I'm not happy with some of these roots. This one in particular, it's got a white fuzz on it, so I'm going to trim what I don't like the look of. That root is woody. It doesn't look very good, but it's not actually mushy. But a lot of these down here are, so I'm just going to have to go through it. I mean, you see things like that, it's absolutely bloody hopeless, that is, at least to there. Get rid of that. That's manky all the way back to there. They're just absolutely wringing wet. It's no wonder it's not happy. So I could only hope that when I've finished chopping 7 bells out of the poor thing, it'll have something left to live with. I think it's got some that aren't too bad. That one's not very good. That's quite slimy at the tip. That's definitely had it. being overly sentimental, but I don't like taking too much off. But on the other hand, when you're presented with something which really is not very good, and these are never going to recover, blisteringly obvious even to an idiot like me, that these are not going to do ever such a lot ever again, and the bottom of this plant really doesn't really does not look very good, and I'm quite bothered by just how slimy some of these roots are. So I think a good spray with some hydrogen peroxide won't go amiss, because this is not what I was hoping to see when I still, the lady I bought it from has kept Vandas for a long time, so clearly her methods work. And how many times do we see people advocating some methods and you think, oh no, wouldn't work for me, or I wouldn't do it like that. But everybody's conditions are slightly different, aren't they? I keep some of mine on windowsills, some of mine in here in the conservatory. It's not ideal, there's no doubt about that. It's far from ideal, because in here we've got relatively low humidity, and there's really not very much I can do about it. I've got a humidifier, and when it's the summer, yeah, I've got a chance to do things. That doesn't look very good. In the summer I can close the sliding door out of the house into here, and then just put everything on and let it do its own thing. But not awfully thrilled with that route. That's no good. The stem is not very good down there, but since we've got some roots which appear to be viable, if not active, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for the time being. I'm sure that's going to work ever so well in the end. That's no good, that's going to have to come back. As I was hoping. Don't want to force it, because I don't want to snap any of these roots. We haven't got that many as it is. But I think if I can get it something like that, it's reasonably stable. It isn't going to fall anywhere because it's got what looks like aquarium gravel in the bottom. So we'll take that one off. I'm not going to do very much more with it, but I am going to spray it with hydrogen peroxide, because I am not at all happy that these roots are sterile, and that we haven't got anything living in here that shouldn't be. And there's quite a lot of fizzing going on, so I don't know what it's finding, but give it really good. But the interesting thing is, I don't know whether you can see it at all from there, but that root, which didn't look very good, has immediately gone green. So it's got a root that works, and some others are going a little bit green as well. So let's hope that a good spray with this stuff will do more good than harm. It does, of course, at the end of the day change into water, so it won't hurt anything just to sit there and do no more than that. But that, it's not a bad plant. I don't think it's got a leaf on the way, so I'll put that, treat that in the same way as the other one. I'll water it and do, it certainly doesn't want water at the moment. These roots need to dry off a bit. But that was a quick look at the new Vanda and what I'm going to do with it and try with it. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye.